Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fast Coasters, and welcome to the fourth episode of Paradox Point. Apologies for getting this episode out a little bit late. I've been very busy this week. Obviously, we've had that cross-country snowstorm that's hit. So, anybody that got hit by that snowstorm, hope you guys are doing okay. But anyway, we are back with Paradox Point. This is the fourth episode of the series, and today we're building the second big roller coaster, which is going to be. It's not going to be a hypercoaster as in layout, but in height, it is going to be considered a hypercoaster. It's very much inspired by the rides like Pantheon and Tutatis, and even a little bit of like just Spitfire with how it looks. So it is going to be an Intamin swing launch roller coaster. We are going to put another launch coaster in at a later date, so I wanted to make this a little bit different from it. So they're all three of them will be a little bit different. So like the Extreme Spinner, it spins. This one has a swing launch, and then the other one will have its own thing, and we'll get to that in a few episodes' time. But anyway, we were building the spike here. It is over 200 foot. The main top hat is going to be about 210 feet, so it's not too big of a hypercoaster. It's not like a giga height, but it's would be a pretty big coaster in the park. And I do like how the sightlines look because of how set back it is. It doesn't really intrude on the rest of the land. Like one of the things, I built a park back in Planet Coaster 1. I didn't record it, but it was called I forgot what it was called, but it was a PortAventura style park with the different like countries and lands you could visit. It was like Mediterranean with a floorless coaster. It was Egypt with like a inverted coaster. I remember there was a Western RMC, and the park was going really well. But then after that, I decided to put in an Exa coaster, and it was so big, and it was so like on top of everything that it kind of just ruined the park almost. So when I build like big coasters in themed parks such as this, I want to make sure that they're not really taking up the entire spotlight of the layout as far as the sight lines go. Working on the layout here, there are going to be some changes you'll see from this to the final layout. As you can see, there's a stall and then an airtime hill. Those both go. The stall is basically moved to where the airtime hill is, and then where the stall is, there's this kind of unique inversion that I came up with. The brake run, I would have loved to put a big airtime hill in, but for the park that I'm going for, the big high budget theme park, I did want to put a brake run in because there's going to be quite a few people in the parking capacity is going to be highly necessary. A bit of a shorter time lapse today. We're just looking at the layout for this one. Next episode, the time lapse is going to be a little bit longer because I kind of stitched together two different builds, and I think you guys are really going to like that. This area is going to be like the pirate area. It's only going to be 2 episodes. I'm thinking each area is going to be about 2 episodes unless I do a bigger area. So this one, it's going to be the roller coaster, and then there's going to be a water ride in the next episode, along with just like a big hub area and just finishing the area off. This area isn't going to have too many rides. It's just going to have the 2 big rides. No flat rides in this area because I didn't want to oversaturate the area. You get the flat ride in the 2 flat rides in the pirate area, no flat rides here. But in the 3rd area we'll be building, there will be multiple flat rides because it's going to be kind of like a fairground theme with a section of that land. It's going to be kind of split up into 2 lands. So the first land I'll explain, and then the second part will be like a festival sort of, if you guys can guess. But yeah, we'll get to that when it comes. But for now, just smoothing the coaster, and I believe we're going to go into real time soon because, like I said, it was a pretty short time lapse because I did have to get this done very quickly. Like I said, there were quite a few layout changes that I made afterwards. I just kind of wanted to get the coaster built. And I did do some custom supporting for certain elements, and you will see that in the real-time portion. Really happy with the custom supporting. It was a bit of a pain, but it was pretty good, and I'll explain that more once we see it. Anyway, here we are at the entrance to Paradox Point, as there is a new friend at the top. His name is Greg. Greg is going to be our park mascot. My girlfriend came up with Greg, so here's Greg up there. Regular entrance area. It is going to be Greg in the pirate ship. And as you can see over on the right, the sightline isn't too bad. It kind of blends in, which is kind of what I wanted. The rocks I added in, and you'll see that that part of the ride just to hide more of the ride. There's only going to be Greg and the pirate ship at the top, not adding any more. Entrance area has not changed a bit. Just still the same. Happy with how that looks. The statues all over the rings. The pirate area, did we call it Barracuda Bay? No, I don't believe we called it Barracuda Bay. Buccaneer Bay, I'm pretty sure we called it. Anyway, we're going into this area, and obviously it's not completed yet. It is just the coaster and that area in this video. As you can see, some of the custom supporting on the 2 big elements, those are the elements I did do the custom supporting for. And it's going to be kind of like a hub area where it's going to be very hidden. So as the pirate area was very open, this area is going to be very closed in and hidden. So you're not going to really see the rides until you come up to them. This little pathway back here goes from the gift shop. So if you remember a few episodes back, I did have that secret pathway you go through in the gift shop in order to get to the dinosaur area, and I did put that in. And then that pathway will go from the pirate area. I wanted to make sure all the lands are connected just so we don't have any congestion issues. Up here, it is elevated a little bit. As you see, it goes up the spike there, and then comes right back down. And as you can see, that unique element, you'll see it a little bit more in depth when we get on the rider in the queue line. It's coming up over the top hat now. This area right here is going to be one of the only areas where you could like see the ride in its full. This kind of corkscrew into the dive loop right underneath the pathway. And there it goes over that element. It is basically an upwards barrel roll into like an airtime moment into a barrel down drop. So I think it would be a really good element if a park came up with it. It's very similar to the one on Iron Rattler at Six Flags Qiddiya, the tilt coaster, except it has kind of like an airtime moment at the top. And this is a 5-car train. Originally it was a 6-car, but it kind of whipped through a little bit too fast. So I just made the 5-car train. And then it does the corkscrew into the ground and then the dive loop over the rocks. And of course, there are going to be a couple of dinosaur animatronics in. I did download the dinosaur animatronics off of the workshop. They were by a creator called, I believe, SpaceX is Life, I believe their name is. So they built quite a few dinosaur animatronics, and they will be scattered around all over the land. Here is the entrance area. It is not going to be called Blitz. That's just the placeholder name. Tourist Sway, but obviously it's saying personnel only, wait time 65 minutes. So maybe there was tourists here, then something might have happened, and just the area is closed off. So we have the cages. Staff checkpoint here. It's kind of like an abandoned point. There isn't going to be any staff in there, actually. Again, no fast lane in this park. I want to stray away from that. There it goes over that moment, and then into that barrel roll down drop. I don't know what the barrel roll up, what you call it when it's going up. Steel Vengeance has that moment. Into the queue line where the coaster is just raging above us. There isn't a separate offload and unload. It's just a one station for this one. Much like Dead Reckoning in the other area. A little buggy here, and then just some trees. The theme for this one is kind of like we gotta contain the dinosaurs, and they're escaping. Kind of similar to Velocicoaster almost. That is also why I went with a swing launch. I didn't want to completely rip off Velocicoaster, just an Intamin Blitz theme to dinosaurs. So yeah, coming through here, and then this area you go right next to the spike, so you get up close and personal with the spike. You also get right next to the switch track, so you can see that switch track working. I believe it should be coming through quite soon. Yeah, here it comes backwards. And up that giant spike. Great view when you're in the queue line with some great shots when you're watching the ride, recording the ride. Over that little bump, and then into the big top hat with all that custom sporting as well. Here's some just folies here. Again, we wanted to make it feel like you're going through the jungle. And then we got this little room here, just a quick cattle pen area. I'm not sure what the green pool represents, but it could be some like substance they're getting from the dinosaurs or formulas they're working on. And then again, coaster's still going above us, and we make our ascent up to the station. No pre-show area. It's just a small kind of like holding area. Again, that giant element right above. I'm really happy with that element. Definitely would be the signature element of the ride. In here, the alarms are going off. As you can see, the containment stabilization is only at 92%, but we're going on anyway. So there is room for error, which is kind of like the theming of this ride. You can kind of see the ride being loaded up. Some supports are coming through, which I actually like the look of the supports coming through. The clipping is really annoying. I still really think that's annoying from the original game. Anyway, we're going to hop on the ride in the front seat view because there is no spinning, so we do the front seat view. I will upload a separate video of cinematics and track views for day and night for this coaster with the name, much like I did with Dead Reckoning. So yeah, all major like rides, like any like track rides, will probably have that separate video to come out with them, especially the dark ride I'm going to be building in a couple episodes time. I'm still working on that now, and I'm really, really happy with how it's turning out. It's definitely one of my favorites. It does have a lot of downloaded stuff, but I really think it's going to be a special dark ride. People have done it before in the game, but there isn't. I've done it a little bit differently with a bit of a different concept. And you'll see that in a few episodes time. Anyway, here we go. Down the dip into the first kind of small launch. into this little twister section. No inversions, no crazy airtime moments, just kind of like a running through the ravines, up and over that initial launch, and then into the switch track. We boost up to about, I think it's 50 miles an hour here. Kind of halfway up the top hat, about 3/4 up actually, and then you fall back down, backwards around 70 miles an hour, and then up that giant spike, which I wanted it to look a bit like Spitfire spike, but it ended up looking more like Top Thrill 2 spike. But yeah, into that airtime moment. Now we're at about 75. Then we're going over the top hat. Great view of the rest of the land is going to be coming, and then down into that upwards roll, into the airtime moment, and then right into the barrel down drop, curving right by the rocks in more skeletal remains, into the stall, and then stall twists out into more skeletal remains, into the, this would be cool as an airtime hill, but I did think we needed to include the mid-course just for capacity purposes. Downwards into the corkscrew, and then it dives underneath the pathway, and then it comes back up into this dive loop element with the rocks. And then here's where the dinosaurs are going to be. So we go under there into our airtime moment, and here come the raptors. So they come out the left. Woo, yeah. I like how they come out. Great animation work from there. I should probably work on like how to make animatronics. It's very complicated. So if I find a good one on the workshop, I might as well just download that. And then after that, turn right back up into the brakes. Ride is done. So yep, that is the Dinosaur Blitz coaster. Just a quick look at the trains here. Nothing too themed. The stickers from the toy box pack are really helpful for like warning signs and like caution. So those are used all over this build. Yeah, with the trains. But yep, little view out there, the train coming through, and then we're gonna go out through these doors into the open, and then great view of the coaster coming past us here. Another great view of that spike. You can see the supporting there for that. And then we go out here, and right next to us is going to be like the queue line area for like the water ride in the next episode. And when I say water ride, obviously it's not like a water slide. It is just a regular water ride. I'm not sure if we are going to have any water slides or water park features in this park, but we'll see as we go on. Anyway, into the little gift shop here, on-ride photos. The on-ride photo is where the raptors come out. And then, yeah, we're done. We are out and boarding souvenirs inside. I thought that was a little kind of funny. So, yep, we are out, and that is our experience on the Blitz coaster. Really like how that turned out. I think it complements the Extreme Spinner really well. Yeah, and just the foliage around it really brought it to life. I was kind of unsure about it when I started, but once I finalized the layout, got the supporting in, did all the trees, was really happy with how it turned out. Again, this support structure is very similar to Top Thrill 2. I tried doing Spitfire, but in the end, it kind of looked like Top Thrill 2. And then these supports are inspired by Pantheon supports at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, although this one is a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like the queue area. I like the station. I think I like the Pirate Dead Reckoning a little bit more as far as like the theming goes, but I definitely, the coaster-wise, they're definitely on par with each other. I think I'm doing my best coasters yet in this park, which makes me really happy. Anyway, that is the end of this coaster. So just going through a little bit more here. The coaster sections, and I'm going to show you the dinosaurs down here from, yep, right there. I thought they'd be statues, but they did move, so I'm like, oh, might as well use them. They do kind of a little hop, but you kind of can't see that on the ride because we don't really need to see that. They come out, and then if this was real, they probably just go back in. This hop is a little bit unrealistic, but you can't really see that on ride or in the queue, so it's all right. I made sure to hide the dinosaurs from the queue line so you can't see them coming. You can only see them when you're on the ride. Just kind of like a little, maybe like a jump scare moment almost. Just, oh, there's the raptors, but yep, up a big spike. And as you can see, it's view relative to the pirate area in the back. We are going to fill out that open space in the next episode on the right. That is going to be our next ride, and I will explain that in a moment. Yeah, here's another look at that element, the barrel, the upwards roll into the airtime moment, down into the down drop. Not sure what you'd call this element. If anybody's got names and suggestions, let me know. Yeah, but really happy with how this layout turned out. I think it's really realistic for one of the swing launch coasters because they don't really have the longest layouts in the world. The main thing is that swing launch, but yeah, it's not going to be too lit up this ride. I just wanted to show you guys the station. It's a very like red alarm bell station, like something's going to go wrong. Wanted to make sure it was dark, and as you can see, just lights going off as you escape, and then you go out into the main layout. It is pretty dark, the main layout. I did try to put some lights on the spike of the ride, but yeah, some trees. And also something I noticed, that if you make the lights bigger, it doesn't actually make the light itself bigger. So like you can make the spotlight bigger, but the light itself will not change from the regular spotlight size, which I thought was a little bit weird. But because I think lighting was a little bit better than the original as far as the spotlights went. But yeah, as you can see the view from the pirate area, again, it's not really intruding on the land over here or the land that it's in. It's kind of in its own section, which is just, I did not want it to like kind of overtake the area or intrude on another area. But yeah, you can see it again. You could just see that top hat mainly from other areas, which for a 200-footer is pretty good. Anyway, in our next episode, we are going to be building a log flume, and it's going to be like one of the big wide log flumes, kind of like Splash Mountain. Obviously not that themed, but it's going to be that model. And we were going to be building like a research hub center, which all our like quick service stuff is going to be in. So yeah, really hope you guys join me for that one. If you enjoyed this video, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. A lot more Planet Coaster and roller coaster content in general coming up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.